Hello and welcome to another episode of Rallying the Forge. We have a lot to cover in this episode, so let's jump right in. We have a patch today, even though it's kind of minor, but it's kind of always good to get patches, get updates, and let's read through that real quick. So that dropped just a little bit ago now. Updates. Fixed a bug that would have players get stuck on buying a deck, impacting the tutorial flow. Fixed a bug that would keep player in previous event when joining a new one. Improvements to collection loading. As a note, it will most likely be slower the first time you load back in after updating, but will improve after that. Fixed a bug where players could join an event before their collection loaded in, causing errors with receiving sealed decks and their fusing. Fixed a bug where direct challenge code would remain after direct challenge match. Didn't know that was a bug. Thought that was a feature. Deck name shows up when opening a deck. So I had seen that on a deck I opened at some point in time when they did the last patch, but had not seen it since. And I was just talking about it today when I was opening some decks. I'm like, what happened to that? So they must have disabled it, had a bug with it or something. It should be back. Event queue, sealed Shadows over Solus is going to be the next in-game, in-client event queue. We just had Axes and Allies, so it's going to be set 4, and it starts tomorrow. To enter the event, go to the store, buy some tickets from the featured section of the in-game shop. I'll show you that. From there, go to the play menu and go to the event tab, redeem your tickets, and you're all set to go. How does it work? Once you submit your tickets, you'll be given 4 phantom decks, and the game will automatically fuse them together for you in each possible combination. Click on Change Deck to view the 6 different options. And when viewing a fused deck, you can click on the Forgeborn card to switch between Forgeborns if you want to use the other Forgeborn. You can switch decks through the event. The event ends once you play 5 games, and you'll get 250 gold and 4 embers per win, and 150 gold per loss. All you have to do to play is grab more tickets, redeem them, and get 4 new phantom decks to try out. Okay, so that's the patch notes. Let's go back to the game. So you go to the shop, featured tab, event ticket right there, boom, and you can buy tickets with gold or embers. You go to the play section, there's an event tab, and you can see it starts in 20 hours from now, roughly. Tells you what the rewards are. You'll submit 2 tickets. You'll get the 6 decks or whatever created for you automatically. It appears for some people they get removed from your account once you're done with that little event. For me, they did not, but maybe I didn't give it enough time. I don't know. So we'll see if that continues to be a thing or not. But 2 tickets, and you can play some sealed in-client with a bunch of people. So there is that. What was the next thing? Oh, I had a question. So the previous patch, they had a hot fix or a known bugs. They pushed out a patch later on the next day, I guess. They said, we will be adding a free deck to the featured section of our store as an apology once this issue is resolved. Did they do that? Anyone know? I don't remember seeing it, but maybe I missed it. Maybe I had missed my opportunity for the free deck. Who knows? I feel like there was something else I was going to mention with the patches. I have not tried downloading on the mobile. I will be doing that, of course. So that's all I have for patch update notes for now. Let's jump to events. What's going on? Although you cannot buy a ticket currently, Saturday's sealed event, I don't know if it's still going to happen or not, or if it's going to end up being canceled or something else replace it. We will find out. Currently, there's a bug where you cannot purchase a ticket. It's a back-end issue that could be the third party or not. Don't really know. So if you're trying to buy a ticket, it's bugged out. You can let Gorgeous know if you are interested in case he has a workaround. So stay tuned on that. Let's look at the calendar. So we have Wednesday game night coming up tonight. If you're watching this, it might have already happened. We have tomorrow, there's a SFCS 5 qualifier, 100X server at noon. Friday, there's one at 3 p.m. And there's also, this week is Mlvanbie's Beast Mode. That is going to be Friday night and Sunday afternoon. And then, like I said, there's supposed to be sealed Beakers and Bones this weekend, but it may get canceled. I don't know. So that's all that's on the calendar for now. The SFCS also has some other events listed here. So we have Ready, Set, Rumble next week, Tuesday at 7 a.m. And none of the other events are listed yet on here, so we'll see what's happening. We'll see what's happening with that. Let's jump real quick to the SolForge competitive circuit. It's wrapping up. Players finished out those final few rounds, and we had we end up having Carl win against a novice in the losers bracket to be able for the right to play Traveler again. So we will see that. I think they're going to stream that Saturday night at some point. I forget what time they were saying. Might have been 5 p.m. Eastern, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong on that. So I'll get the right time and I'll post it in my video description for that. But that's going to be streamed in the events Discord on the stage, and we're going to have some commentators participating and joining and talking. So really excited to see that, and hopefully you guys will join and watch that on the events Discord. I may simulcast stream it as well. We'll see if I can work that out so it's not no issues with anything, but we'll see what we can do there. So that's that. There is SolForge Competitive Circuit number 2 signups available. So we have 7 people signed up so far, and I think it fills at 16. If I'm not mistaken, I think it said 16, didn't it? Yeah, 16 people. So if you are wanting to play, it's best of 3. You bring whatever deck you want, anything you want. If you've won in the SolForge Competitive Circuit with a deck before, you cannot use that deck again. So try to remember that. Again, once this fills up, it'll kick off, and we will we'll cover that. I have a bunch of matches I haven't released yet from videos and stuff. I need to get on that, but trying to figure out the format I want to do it. We will do a deck review of all these decks, just like we are going to be about to dive in for the Convergence League Finals. But, that's what I wanted to cover. Before we get to that, because that's going to be my closing segment. So you can sign up for this if you need the link. I believe it is in the SolForge server. I do not know if he posted it in the SBE server or not, but you can always ask and someone can post it. I will try to remember to post it in my video description as well. A lot of links to be put in today. Discord. Yes. Announcements. Okay. Event announcements. So, the Convergence League Finals is over. Convergence League is over for now. We don't know if there will be another run of it down the road. Hopefully there will be, with potential changes to the format a little bit to ease it up on newer players. But we have a new format, and it's interesting. So I'll just read this announcement to you. It's also in the SB Discord. If you don't want to listen to me read it, you can fast forward. But Lucas says, miss out on the Convergence League and want to see what's coming around the corner? Well, do I have fun news for you? Next league will cover March, April, May, and June, with a finals in August, which will be after Gen Con. It is called Creature Chaos. Each month will feature a new creature type to build around. March is Dinosaurs. April is Scientists. May is Warriors. June is to be announced. He says next week. Spoiler alert. So this follows the legendary drops: Dinosaurs, Scientists, Warriors. We know the fourth legendary drop is going to be Mages. So my anticipation is Mages. I don't think he announced one, although he was talking about Spirits with Mlvanbie in chat. So I don't know if that was just answering questions or if that was also potentially making it Spirits, which would be interesting. Unless they've changed off of Mages and they're going to go with something else, but they did say to players on Discord during an event that Mages was the next one after Warriors. So, and my guess is going to be, just so you know, that that's going to drop in April. So, and also Traveler's going to have all the good decks for that set. So, because he's going to take his rewards from winning Convergence League and put it all into that new legendary drop set. So, just, you can retire now, and Traveler's going to be the best player in the world. He really is a good player, though. And he deserves all the credit he gets because he's amazing. So, the format for Creature Chaos, each event will be a month-long event. You play one opponent per week. You get basically four matches. It's going to be best of 3 format. You will submit one fused deck for the event. Each fused deck must have a minimum of 6 cards of that month's creature type. Cards that mention the creature type count for half a point. So the fused deck is both halves combined. Not each half has to have 6 of each. It's 6 minimum between the 2 halves. I want to make sure that's clear for people. So he gives an example of a creature type being mentioned on a card as Stampede counts as half a dinosaur for the sake of the count. Players get points based on how well they perform, as well as how many of that creature type they have in their deck. So, points awarded on number of creature type in a fuse. 6 to 6.5, no bonus points. 7 to 8.5, 2 points. 9 to 10.5, 3 points. 11 plus, 5 points. You basically get 3 points per win. And then, after all that's said and done, the points will be recorded, and then the top 4 scores from each event will get a slot in the finals. For tied scores, all those who have that many points will be invited. So if the 4th person or the 3rd and 4th plus others have the same amount of points, all those players will qualify. So it's real important to note that you're going to expect, depending on the number of players, probably 4-0 is going to qualify. 3-1, highly likely. If it was a small event, maybe a 2-2, but unlikely. So the numbers are going to be like a 3-1. You'd think like, oh, I've got a good chance to qualify. Well, the thing to note here is everyone's got different amounts of bonus points. Someone else who went 3-1 might have 11 plus dinosaur cards. Well, they've got plus 5. So they're leaping far ahead of you. They're going to get in unless you've also got plus 5. But then potentially other people who don't have plus 5 are not going to get in because of that difference. So you need to really think about how you build your decks for that. And I guess the sign-up's not on yet because there's an issue with the website. So the event is not posted yet. I don't know when it will be posted, but I assume early next week would be my guess. So for the finals, you must compete with a deck that matches the creature type of the event you qualified in. Qualify in multiple events, get more options to choose from in the finals. So you can qualify in each event and then pick whichever one of the decks you qualified with to play with. It also means you can knock people out by qualifying multiple times. You can prevent people from qualifying by playing in all the events instead of just qualifying once and then not showing up anymore. So there's incentive to keep going if that's something you want to do. Prizing. Each qualifier you will get a badge for the creature type of that month, regardless of placement. Each additional qualifier you place in, you will win 4 boosters of a set of your choice. So also, qualifying in additional events means you get 4 boosters of a set that you want. So that could be 12 extra boosters if you qualify in all 4. Finals is going to have $10,000 worth of prizing, a mix of SFG, Embers, and boosters. I would expect something similar to what we just had for the Convergence League. Everyone got prizing, and then just the better you did, the little bit more you got. So it was really good. So hopefully a lot of people sign up for this and participate. The more people that sign up, the harder it's going to be to qualify. And when people do qualify, it doesn't knock them out of the next one. They can keep qualifying. So it's going to be really hard to compete in these events. And then he also notes Gen Con, end of July. We will be at Gen Con. There we will have an Ascension Championship and SolForge Fusion storyline event. They will also have SolForge Fusion sealed events going on Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday. I can't remember. But we'll talk about that when we talk about Gen Con in a little bit, probably in a month or two, once we have more info on things going on at Gen Con. So this event is supposed to start next month. I don't know if there's 5 weeks in March. No, there's 4. One kind of overlaps with April. Yeah, they all have just 4 weeks. Even none of them have a full, basically almost a full extra week, or how it lines out. So yeah, we'll see. He's gonna have to post that up or put on challenge. We'll see what he does with it. So we'll see if they get it fixed. It's middle of the week, so they have time. But if you're looking to participate, be paying attention to get signed up. And if you're just seeing this whenever this might be, if it's before Monday, ask in Discord if you're looking for getting signed up and you're not sure where to go. I may not have a link on here because I don't have that information yet. So just want to make you aware. And then, all right, so that's Jed Forge. That's the new Creature Chaos event. And now we will get to Convergence League decks. So we did Travelers decks. Obviously really good. Now we're going to see the rest of we were going to do top 8, but that video would be really long. So I'm breaking it down, doing the rest of the top 4 now. And then we will do the rest of the top 8. And then we'll see if we're going to do top 12 and top 16 or something. We'll figure out how we're going to break it down for the last half of it. We will cover all the decks. That is definitely something we will do. And so starting off here, we have Gambit 184's decks, Carl's decks. He finished second. He played really well, and his decks were just really good overall. So we have here, he's got a set 4 deck, Tempest Utera. He's got a Mantis Forge Seal, Dark Forge Drain. So it looks like it's a this is his stuff, right? Or did I screw that up? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is his stuff. Okay. So it's a Dark Forge Drain deck, Mantis Forge Seal, and a lot of spells from the set 4 Tempest. A lot of good spells. He beat me 2-0, so I did not see that deck. I saw different decks. So I don't know if he played this against anybody or not, or what the situation was, but obviously Dark Forge Drain, Mantis Forge Seal, you don't have to play them when you get them. You just hold them and get them later to drop on something. He's got Stegodon with Breakthrough. He's got Krogaius. The Utera half is one of the best Utera halves in the game. It's a 5-spell Mantis Forge Seal, Dark Forge Drain, Krogaius deck. It's incredible. He's won plenty of matches with that half deck, paired with all sorts of things. But I did not see this. I don't know if he played it against anyone else. I don't know what his decision making in that regard was like. Obviously, simple theme. Play spells, pump your creatures, break through, and kill them. So, this deck he expected to be banned in all his matches. I might have been the only one who did not ban it. I chose a different deck, of which I hate facing against Carl with. Should I have banned this one? Maybe I should have, because I knew with it he would get at least one win out of it. And with the other one, I don't feel like there's a guarantee that he'd get a win out of it. But I hate playing against it, and it's hard to track everything with it. And I thought this would just be, I thought I could sneak a win out against it potentially, but I could not. His deck is just so resilient. His whole Bones of Solace, destroying creatures onto it to flip it, so he gets the blighted version of the Circe. So he gets the Cycle 4 Soul Swap, which is Soul Reaver. He can swap health with a player. He swaps you down. He has many ways to just deal some low damage to you and kill you. But I don't know if we got that far, or if we did. I can't recall. But it's just a very good deck, and he's got a Rex with a Batterhide. He's got a Basher, Dechaosaur, so 4 dinos in this half. He's got a Taliesin for some additional free plays. Plenty of spells, really balanced creatures and spells, and he is able to hold you off until Cycle 4 for the most part. It's a really good deck, and really hard to play against. So I think most people banned it except for me. I don't know if anyone else did not, but this was the deck I banned. So it's an Apocalypser deck with a Betrayer Charger, Sonic Burst, Electronet, Scypian Augmentation, Warmonger Mod. Carl is one of the best Alolan players, I would say. He's got some really good Alolan decks, and I did not want to see this deck. The Necrium half, set 4. It's a warrior deck, though. He's got a Charger in that one, Darkheart Sorcerer, Pestilence, which is one of the best set 4 spells, Rise of the Fallen for some reanimation, Summoning Horde, Fiddling Lanes, giving him things to replace for Apocalypser. I did not want to see this thing play. So I didn't. I banned it, and of course, my guess is this is a really, really, really strong deck. All his 4 decks all 4 of his decks are really good. There's not one that I'm like, maybe it's bad. They're all good, and so it's just tough. No matter what you do, you're gonna be facing something good. But this deck, the double Charger is really freaking awesome. Apocalypser, Darkheart Sorcerer, he's got life gain in there too. Sonic Burst, Scypian Augmentation, Electronet, good spells across the board. So there's that, and then his 4th deck was a surprise to me. I looked at it and did not dig in. I did not do any pre-scouting of people's decks. I had some stuff going on, didn't really have time for that, and I did not realize this deck. So he's got a Siphron Chrome in it, Got Drix. It's a Dark Forge deck. The Tempest half, Elementalist Ritual, Thunder Crash Field, Flame Jet, Lightning Charge. It just... I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I played against it with probably what I thought was my best deck, and I got crushed by it. And part of it was Chrome was an issue for me. Didn't have the removal when I needed it. It took a lot of effort to get him off the board. And all those resources just allowed me to keep getting pinged down and eventually just killed. So, surprising. But I think he made the choice to play this deck because he probably figured I was going to play my life gain deck after I lost with it. I wish I would have played my RC deck opening against his other deck. Maybe I could have been aggressive enough to push enough damage to kill him. Maybe not. But then maybe he doesn't play this deck and he plays his other deck that he had. So, I don't know. But this deck was surprisingly good. And I was surprised of the 4 decks that he played this one. But I also did not notice the Saffron Chrome in it. And had I known that and thought about it, I might have switched to RSE. And maybe my outcome's different. Or he plays this in the 3rd match and still wins. But, yeah, his deck was surprising. Really surprised me. And it did a lot better than I thought it would do. So, he took me 2-0. And he only lost one match. Outside of Traveler, he only lost one other match. So, yeah. Good decks for Carl. So he got second. Congrats to him on that. Next up, we have Tony's decks. He was tied for 3rd and 4th with me. He ended up losing to Traveler in the semifinals. And this is one of his decks here. He's got a Betrayer Kurgaius with a Drix. It's really nice. He's got a set 3 Darkshaper Savant hand 2 deck with a Shambling Direhound. Betrayer Electronet, Circe's Call, Sack Chamber. Got a lot going on in this half summoner in here too. Like, really nice Necrium half. His Aloyan half has a Steel Eye Researcher, has Drix Kurgaius, Inventor, Energy Prison, Warmonger mod. So a lot of good cards in these 2 decks. I don't know how it plays. I didn't play Tony at all in this. I haven't played Tony in a while, actually. But the threats are numerous in this deck. And I don't know what his play lines are like for this deck. And I don't know if he played this deck because I haven't looked at all his decks to see what he might have played against everybody. But that's this deck, and then his next deck is a life gain deck, and he's only got 6 spells in the deck. The Necrium spells are really good. The Utera spells are just okay. He does have a free play with the Primal Surge. He does have a Perfect Circe. Does he have... He does not have Mantis or Forge Seal Fort, though. So he's definitely probably going on the Swamp Moss Lurker angle here with the life gain. He's got a Spring Dryad, Stegodon, Soothing Ravager, Glowhive Siren. He paired it with a Necrium half that he's got a Ghoulish Moeba. That can get huge. He's got a Walker in there for some control. A Spirit Reaver can also help reduce some health. A Spite Hydra for some removal if they're removing your stuff. Or if you sack like your Portal Shade or something to trigger it. So he really leans in this pairing on the Utera half for all the life gain. And then, you got Soul Reap, yes. You got Soul Reap for some life gain, but best if you have a beast on the board, which he does have some beasts. So, don't know how this one played as well. I think it's too unbalanced for my liking. But it's hard to get, like, the Utera half, despite it being so unbalanced with creatures to spells, it's still really strong with life gain. I mean, he's got 4 sources of life gain on creatures. He's got a Biologist and Wanderer's combo in there. Like, it's all good creatures except for the Matriarch. Don't like that. But if your health is going well, the Sated Matriarch can gain bonus attack and make him actually maybe worthwhile. But he probably had to do... Oh, he played that Necreum half, so he didn't have to. He couldn't do Shambling because the Shambling Direhound. But he could have done Dark Heart Sorcerer deck or a Shambler. He could have done with this half, but maybe he doesn't have something with the good spells. So, not sure there. Then he has this is a really interesting, wild Nova deck, RC deck. He's got an Astraxian Dino Nova deck. So, of course, Astraxian can proc Nova and flip over the RC. He's got it paired with a Darkforge Aloyan deck with a Betrayer Glacier in it. So that's another card that he can use to trigger the RC. So I don't know if this deck got banned a lot or not. I don't know if I think people looked at it and was like RC with Aloyan, and they didn't look at what he actually has in the deck. He's got a lot of ways to flip the RC, non-traditional ways, but I'll bet not a lot of people banned this deck because they thought that like he was throwing away a half or something, or I don't know. But I don't know how this deck worked out for him. Like I said, I haven't played him. I haven't played this deck against him at all that I recall seeing. So I know he's got the Yeti, who's really nice. The Voidplate Yeti can, as he levels up, he can start helping clear the board out some. That's really nice. So, the Darkforge Oracle is a good Darkforge creature for Aloyan. The Glacier, of course, is really nice. So he's got a lot of tools in the toolbox for this one. And obviously, RC, when you flip it over, is going to be a problem for people. So another interesting deck here. Ideas for people who might not think they have a great RC pairing or something. Think outside the box. This is a great example of that. And then Tony's last deck is a Furious Shardback Tempest pairing with set 4 Utera with a Descendant Biologist. He's got a Thundercrash Field Elementalist Ritual. So this deck reminds me of, and I don't know who had it first. It's possible that Tony had this first. He has a lot of different decks, but reminds me of Carl's Thundercrash Field deck with a Descendant Biologist Blighted Forgeborn deck. I don't know if Tony uses Sunder or the Blighted Sunder for this, but I have a version of a deck like this as well that I built after I played Carl and lost to him. And yeah, this deck can be really surprising. He's got a Furious Shardback with his, which is really nice. But being able to play a lot of minions, pump them up with the Biologist, potentially multiple turns, free plays with Warbringer Ritual, Elementalist Ritual, allowing you to hit all non-elementals potentially if you want, so he could ping his own Shardback. He could do bonus damage for non-combat damage, making his Shardback do double damage. His Thundercrash Fields, minions growing in it, are going to keep pinging the opponent. So this is a really good build. He's also got, I just noticed, a Voltaris Tempest Caller Betrayer in this. That's really nice as well. So he can play spells and get Spell Sprite minions on the board. I have to imagine this deck did very well for him. I like this build. I like his Tempest half. It's awesome. Commander with the Shardback with Elementalist Ritual, where you can boost that damage. He's got a biologist here, Tempest Caller with the Thunder Crash field. Like, it's really good. Really, really good. And he can, if he does get out of control, it just gets worse because he's got things like Lycian Hydra. If he levels it up at level 2 and 3, it gets massive. And if he's got a full board, he can just drop it down and boom. Now you've got, this guy becomes a 1915 breakthrough that you have to deal with. So he's got a lot of problems he can put on the board for you. And if you can't, you need to keep his board clear, and he's definitely clearing your board off. So really like that deck. So that's Tony's 4 decks. And then we will get to my 4 decks. So this is one of my better decks. I played this in Worlds and lost to everybody but my buy round with it. But it's still a really good deck. It might be a notch down from top tier decks, but it's very solid. It's basically just a life gain deck. It's got a lot going on, and there's a lot it can do. I do have a Shambling Summoner in it, Vampiric Creeper, but primarily I'm gaining health and pinging you down with little things like Shambling, Vampiric, Discian Siphon. Hopefully some of my breakthrough creatures are going to hit you. If I can't kill you just by overwhelming you with stuff, if I don't beat you because I'm going to have more health than you, if my Swamp Moss Lurker can't kill you, then I do have Darkforge Drain in Cycle 4 if I get there and need it. But even then, I've lost matches. This deck I've talked about plenty of times before. I've played it in a lot of events, but I decided to bring it because I thought it would be just a deck that I could at least get a win out of everything. The only time I didn't was against Carl, so that was unfortunate. I was looking forward to playing my RSC deck, which got banned every time except for against Carl. And even in the Convergence Leagues, it was always banned. My RSC was. So I don't think I played it in any of the Convergence Leagues. I don't recall playing it. But, this deck just has it's a lot of life gain. It's got a lot of utility. It's a really solid deck, but it's not going to be the best deck in any event, probably. It's never going to be the best deck, in my opinion. It's just missing something. I don't know what. This is my RSC deck. Again, I didn't get to play it because I should have played it against Carl in my first game. I really regret that. But not that it would have changed anything, but I would have at least got to play it. So this is just my RSC half with a Necrium half that I don't know when I got this half, but I decided to pair it because it has a lot of different ways. It's got a Darkheart Sorcerer, which is key to flipping the RSE, but it's got a lot of other things you can do. You got Doom, you got a Shambler, so I've got some different options there as far as that. I do have stuff obviously in the Tempest half too, but just the deck, it just works really well, even though it's only got 6 spells in it, not counting the RSC portion. Runescarred Pit's really nice. Witherfrost Circle can be nice. Death Current can be a good spell, situational, but can be useful. Warbringer Ritual, of course, is awesome. Flame Sculptor Seal can be really good, and Flame Jet, of course, is free. So it's an okay RSC deck. It's just like any other RSC deck. They can be strong, and certainly can draw really well and dominate. It can also draw really poor, and it's just a bad deck. So that's just the story of this RSC deck. It's just okay. And then I brought this deck. It is a Apocalypser Drix Krogaius build. I had to find a build that didn't have anything that overlapped with anything else I was using. So I've got enough of these types of builds that I found one, and it's got one of my better Drix Apocamancer half decks, which has a Rallying Allomancer, Palladium Pulse Mage. There's a lot of mages in this, so the Allomancer can be really good. On top of the Drix and Apocamancer as well. We got an Inventor in the deck, so the deck only has 5 spells total, but it plays pretty well. It's surprisingly good. So the Utera half, Botanimate, Betrayer, Conflagrate comes in useful. It's got a lot of big creatures, though. Arrogant Wartusk, obviously Krogaius, Leyline Vermin. We have a Reveller, which the spell lacking hurts it, but it's also, it's nice when it lines up, I guess. We have a Spring Dryad, Stout Slayer, and Utera Charger. Really love the Charger, dropping that on a Gizmo and then battling. But yeah, it's a fun, decent deck. Definitely, these types of decks can always, when they draw well, they can compete with some of the best decks, and if they don't draw well, then you're looking, that's when things like Krogaius can come in handy. If you feel like it's going poorly, you can start leveling it up, or if maybe you already did level it up. So there are other options besides relying on Drix and Apocamancer and that type of stuff to take it over. There's, I really like this style of deck. So it was fun. It was fun to play this deck. This deck did really well. Really happy with that. My fourth deck that I did not play, it was primarily a filler, but there could have been a situation where I decided to play it depending on what my opponent's banned and what they were playing. So this one is a Blightmane Dragon deck, pretty much is what it really is. And I used Darkforge Reanimation with it to potentially do 50 blast damage to my opponent in one turn. That's the theory behind it. I paired it with this. I needed a set 3 deck to pair it with, so I picked a Sonic Burst deck with Electronet. It has Espionage, but no big deal there. But Electronet and Sonic Burst to help keep decks that have a lot of minions off the board potentially. But I didn't play this deck and didn't need to. No situations came up where I thought I would use it. I also didn't do any, like I said, recon on my opponent's decks to really know what they have to where I would use this. There was one instance where I thought about it, and it was it Red Eyes? I think it was Red Eyes who had they had a Blightmane Dragon deck, and it did so much extra damage to you than, like, I did not anticipate the amount of damage I took. When we get to his decks, I'll talk about it more there, but it was really surprising. I lost a close one against him with it, I believe, but yeah, it was his deck was definitely better than my deck here, but I didn't have time. I didn't put effort and time into. I didn't have the time to try to find a really strong fourth deck. I've had trouble in all the Convergence leagues coming up with a good fourth deck, so that'll be something I continue to look for to be able to see if I'm eventually able to do that. Carl and Traveler had 4 strong decks, and I feel like they could have played any of those decks and done just as well with whatever they had. So I think it's rare that players have 4 really strong decks, and if players are able to, I think they're going to do better than the average player. So and they were 1 and 2, so no surprise there. But this deck does have a Glacier in it for just some additional stuff, but didn't play the deck, and glad I didn't have to. But yeah, so that is my decks, and this was of course the finals. Like we said, Traveler won. He didn't lose any matches, didn't even drop a single match against anybody. Carl only lost 1 match to Namrog, other than Traveler when he lost in the finals. But yeah, so next video we'll be covering Namrog's decks, Red Eyes, Anovis, and the Puffin Man. We'll get all their decks. We'll go through those, and then we'll do the remaining. I guess it's 7. Maybe we'll try to do one video with all the remaining 7 there. So that's what I've got. We covered a lot in this video. I didn't want it to be too long, but it's run pretty good length, I guess. So hope you enjoyed the information. Hopefully I didn't forget anything in particular. But yeah, I'll see you guys in game, in the events, hopefully. I do not know if I'll be participating in the Shadows over Solus sealed event or not. I'm not big on set 4. But I might jump in. I have some tickets, I believe, so at worst I can buy more tickets with the gold. Gives you something to purchase. So yeah, thanks, and I will see you guys next time. So take it easy, and catch you guys in game.